Hi again and good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. I'm Lisa Beddoe here with Jordan Schreier. We're just getting started now with your nonstop news and weather to the top of the hour to help you plan your day. Our snowblowers have been sitting in the garage for some time now, but it's come to that point where we need to pull them out and make sure they're ready.
And the Valley Today's Abby Furchner joins us live this morning with how we can get winter ready for this first blast. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, Lisa and Jordan. I went over to Matt's Automotive Services and talked with service manager Justin Hutchins to see how we can get our snowblowers up to par for the season. All right, Justin, we're standing in front of a pretty average, your standard snowblower. How should you get your snowblower ready for this season?
Biggest things are going to be fuel, oil, and checking the spark plug, making sure it's in good condition. Obviously, if the fuel's old, we want to try and get it out of there. What I've suggested to some folks is just using a cheap turkey baster. The other thing is obviously with the oil, we want to make sure it's at the right level, it's a good condition, and it's just like checking your vehicle's oil on this machine. Right down here is our oil dipstick, so we'll just pull it out, clean it, put it back in, and again, make sure that oil looks clean. If we haven't done anything with it a couple years, get some new oil in there.
And then the spark plugs are right next to that as well.
Yep, usually they're pretty accessible. A lot of the new snowblowers will actually come with a tool to get that spark plug in and out, and the spark plugs for these things are pretty much found anywhere. Hardware stores, parts stores, you can find a new spark plug.
I know no one ever, I feel like, is really ready for the snow, but this is just one way you can be a little bit prepared, especially with that snow coming this weekend. We're getting a little first taste of what the year has to offer. So just a good refresher, a good reminder to get those snow blowers ready for the season. And just a couple other things that you're going to want to make sure you remember to have in your car when traveling this season is a blanket, a shovel, that car scraper as well to get that ice and snow off your windshield, and then maybe a flashlight or two just in case you do get stuck anywhere. So these are just some useful tips to have when traveling this winter and getting ready for the season.
I need to swap out the lake bag. I still have beach towels in my drawer.
I know, I still got a cooler for going to the beach and such, but we got to prepare. It's coming. Abby Furchner reporting live. Thank you very much this morning.
Our team coverage continues now as we check in with meteorologist Lisa Green for a check of the timeline.
Yeah, things are looking tough even this morning in the valley, but it's only going to get worse for some of us through the day today as that snow moves in. And as you travel westward, that's where you're going to run into the conditions that are going to be worse off. We're under a winter storm warning through much of North Dakota, all of our viewers in eastern North Dakota included, and our counties in Minnesota. So now Fargo, part of this winter storm warning. So is Grand Forks. This means that we'll have the heaviest snow in this area, likely that 6+ inch snowfall potential, and a lot more in some spots. Out to the east, lesser confidence in the amount of snow we'll get, and it does look like we're going to get more rain on our eastern end of the viewing area with this system. So checking out the radar, a massive area of rain and snow has now taken over the valley, especially in the eastern part of North Dakota, looking quieter into Minnesota right now, but this will be spreading east. Zooming in a little more, changeover happening even in Walsh County in North Dakota. Rain over toward Grafton into the western part of the county. We could potentially be having some sleet and some freezing rain and trying to change over to some heavy snow as well. Down toward Michigan and Nelson County, Grand Forks in a little bit of a lull right now. Fargo too, though, we have some sprinkles moving in right now, very light rain. And there's just some general mist and fog affecting us here this morning too. That changeover line, you could see it here. It's kind of a mess actually over by Valley City and Jamestown. And then there's a line of heavier rain and snow that's advancing into our southwestern viewing area. A lot of moisture associated with it we're going to be keeping an eye on. In addition to that, we could get some lightning and thunder even in those snowy areas. That's how intense this system is. The wind's already picking up in eastern North Dakota. Unfortunately, that's going to combine where we're getting the heaviest snowfall. So visibility really going to come down and travel will get hazardous in a hurry once we start to get snow in that area. Temperatures there into the 30s, low 30s. Over to the east, more into the 40s to some low 50s. Fargo's at 37. Low visibility. We've got fog in the east and mist in the east out west and in the heart of the Red River Valley dealing with the rain and the snow. So here's that hour-by-hour planner through today. Again, the rain-snow line will be critical for just how much snow we end up with this system. And that's going to be impactful more right along the Red River where we're in that transition zone. Definitely going to pick up some heavy snow out to the west and over to the east we'll stay in the rain today. Heading through the day into the afternoon, you could see some heavy pockets of rain and heavy snow here along along that line, and that line will transition to the east heading into this evening, so getting more snow into Fargo at that point in time, and then this will move eastward and impact us throughout the day on Friday, and that's also when those intense winds are going to pick up too, so we're looking at the potential for whiteout blizzard conditions. Your snowfall potential here, heaviest over the next couple of days to the west, and over to the east lesser amounts, and in between it might be kind of a mess, a big range of totals, but we could see that 6+ inch range in Fargo and in Grand Forks. And in your 7-day planner, expect to have this finally winding down. Saturday's going to be tough too. Travel may not be possible on Saturday, especially in the morning, but the system will wind down. Sunday will start to quiet down, and then into next week we'll melt this snow. And now for a look at traffic, here's Devin Fry with the Valley Today's traffic on the move.
Thank you, Lisa, and good morning, Red River Valley. We return to the interstates to finish off this hour, and as you can see, traffic flow on I-94 has picked up quite a bit. Now, it is hard to see because there's still a lot of moisture on the roads, and so a lot of that's getting kicked up into the windshield, and so it's not coming down, it's coming up from the road. So that's really the only thing, conditions-wise, limiting visibility. Today, conditions-wise, almost ideal, just a little bit of difficulty with the moisture on the road. Tomorrow is where we're going to be running into those difficulties. Now, like I said, traffic flow on the interstates has started to pick up a little bit. We're kind of losing the crowd a bit here, but up here by the I-94, I-29 turnoff, that is where the traffic tends to thin out a little bit here in the westbound lanes. So overall, it's definitely picked up since this morning, but that's to be expected as we get closer and closer to school or work day. We're going to keep checking into the roadways in the next hour on the Fargo CW, but for right now, for your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
A major early season winter storm is moving through right now. And actually, let's get a check at those travel maps that we have as well. And so you can look at that right now. You'll notice the little red dotted, red and white means no travel, and that's around the Williston area. And just north of that, you'll see some scattered snow and ice. That is the yellow dotted lines that are there as well.
Of course, our first look at this map this season also shows roads covered with snow up in the Minot area and the stretch from Dickinson to the Montana state line. That's the purple area that you're seeing on the travel map. Bottom line, if you're going to be heading west from here in the valley, be winter ready. New this morning, a man is in jail after a brief chase this morning east of Moorhead. KFGO News is reporting that a Clay County deputy attempted to stop a swerving vehicle on County Road 26, but the driver refused to pull over and took off.
Police ended up using a pit maneuver to stop the car and make the arrest near Glendon. Serafino Villarreal is facing charges of DWI, reckless driving, and fleeing in a motor vehicle. State troopers have now identified the victim of a deadly crash in Todd County, Minnesota. She was 80-year-old Judith Wilhelmy of Fergus Falls.
She was a passenger in the car that collided with another vehicle Tuesday morning at the intersection of highways 210 and 71 in Hewitt. The victim was in a car driven by 60-year-old Joseph Wilhelmy, also of Fergus Falls.
It looks like an online purchase plan gone wrong. One man is in jail after a report of an armed robbery in South Moorhead. Police got the call just before 5 last night about someone who was meeting up with a man to buy a gaming system. But the victim says the guy instead pulled a knife and then stole the money.
Police located 34-year-old John Sargent in the area and booked him for aggravated robbery. And here's a reminder for anyone selling or buying from someone they don't know. Both the Moorhead and Fargo Police Departments have safe exchange sites. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. 28% of women say this makes them feel younger.
The answer is having blonde hair. Remember, you can play along by going to our Facebook page. And we have quite a bit of weather that you need to be aware of.
Yeah, we're going to be dealing with wintry conditions throughout the day. Stay tuned for more.
All right. Remember